sound like you would take him top 5 over some of those quarterbacks.
Do you feel like you let the defense down at all?
No. I am not ruling the Buffalo Bills out, but the Miami Dolphins are the best team in this division. And
I'm singing you this Christmas wish from Hawaii. Sands of Waikiki shine bright as snow. Send yous love aloha to brighten up your day. Mele kaliki maka eine. I'm singing you this Christmas wish from Hawaii. Lulu lights are all aglow. Sending you the slam aloha to brighten up your day. Mele kaliki maka eine. May your days be as bright as the sun at Haleakala, and your nights by the moon at Hanalei. May the spirit of Christmas behind your hearts like Mauna Kea. Nele kaliki maka eine. So I'm singing you this Christmas wish from Hawaii. Wishing you were here or I with you. Sending you the slam aloha to brighten up your day. Mele kaliki maka eine. May your days be as bright as the sun at Haleakala, and your nights by the moon at Hanalei. May the spirit of Christmas behind your hearts like Mauna Kea. Mele kaliki maka eine. So I'm singing you this Christmas wish from Hawaii. Wishing you were here or I with you. Sending you this love aloha to brighten up your day. Mele kaliki maka eine. Sending you this love aloha to brighten up your day. Mele kaliki maka eine. Mele kaliki maka eine.
And with that, I want to be the first, or hopefully one of the first, to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Mele Kaliki Maka. Mele Kaliki Maka. If you guys can say Tagovailoa, you can say Mele Kaliki Maka as well. Merry Christmas to everybody. Had to put that Hawaiian flavor in here as we're talking about Tua Tuesdays. Everything about Tua. There's no game to go over because obviously the Dolphins had a bye. So we're going to be just talking about some of the stuff that we've been seeing in the news, getting ready for the Texans this weekend, inviting you guys to engage, putting up your comments. I just got to say something. I get so many comments, and I'm the only one here. And so I try to get to as many as possible. If I don't get to yours, please do not think that I don't appreciate it. I appreciate all of your comments, every single one of them. And I do read them. I just can't get to everybody during the live broadcast during the show. And so please bring them. And if you have any requests, you want to see some different music, you want to talk about some things, if you'd like to hear me talk about some stuff that, God forbid, isn't Dolphins related, maybe some college football, maybe some Notre Dame, Notre Dame right there. They play USC this weekend. Whatever it is, I want to begin broadening the content that you guys want to see. And I know everybody here is a Miami Dolphins fan. I know everybody here hopefully is a Tua Tagovailoa fan. And we definitely want to move forward with this season. We've got 7 more games plus to go. I'm not just going to say 7 games. I'm going to say we've got 7 plus Not sure where this party ends, but we're going to be there every step of the way. And keep tuning in on Tuesdays. Some of them will be pre-recorded, some of them will be live. But as you can see, the sponsor being Hawaiian Airlines, winky, 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 winky. Tua Tagovailoa being from Hawaii, winky, winky, winky. Yeah, you know what's coming. You definitely know what's coming. Just think about it. I'm going to do everything I can, everything I possibly can in production, in marketing, to basically elevate this platform, to give you guys everything you want, to distance myself from the other guys out there. I want you to be comfortable coming in, leaving your comments, engaging, and having fun whenever you're watching my stuff. So I hope you like that brief intro. Now let's get to today's show, and then we're going to grab some comments as well. So as you guys know, there's a certain quarterback for a certain New York team that played this past weekend and stunk the joint up. And the contrast between Zach Wilson and Tua Tagovailoa couldn't have been more pronounced than what happened during this press conference. It's very short. It's only like 9 or 10 seconds. But you know you would never hear Tua talk like this. Listen to this real quick. Cut one.
As an offense, though, I mean, when you guys are only able to score 3 points, the defense only lets up 3 points. I mean, do you feel like you let the defense down at all?
No.
77 yards of passing. 2 yards the entire second half. 2 yards the entire second half of offense. And Zach Wilson says, nah, I didn't let the defense down. Do you think you'd ever hear someone like Tua Tagovailoa say that? Of course not. He knows as a captain of the team, a lot of this stuff falls on him. He doesn't care whether somebody, fumbles, misses a tackle, does a pass interference. It doesn't matter. Jason Sanders missing place kicking obligations. He's got to fix that. As a leader, you don't say those type of things. You have to understand that the team looks to you as the quarterback. And that's one of the reasons why the relationships on this Miami Dolphins team has grown so much, because these guys know that Tua has their back, and he's going to do everything he can, and in the media, to let everybody know, hey, the buck stops with me. I got to play better. Zach Wilson, I don't know what you were thinking. And then something else popped up, and the party with, what's his name? Justin Sherbert. Seems like that party is ending. They're out of the playoffs. They're done. They're absolutely done. And I can't show the video, because if I showed the video, YouTube might shut this down. But I want to show you guys something. And this was a tweet from Emmanuel Acho and his show Speak with Joy Taylor. And Joy Taylor being none other than, Jason Taylor's sister. But, in this show, he says Justin Herbert is a social media quarterback. If Tua or Hurts had thrown a game-losing interception with 2 timeouts, we wouldn't hear the end of it. And he's absolutely right. And Joy Taylor basically shrieks, and says, if Tua had thrown the interception that Justin Herbert threw, she says they would have burned the NFL down. And she's absolutely right. Colin Turdlinger is a nut job, and he definitely would have been going after Tua. I cannot believe that, Justin Herbert gets a pass. Hey, listen, he's a big guy. He's, the California kid and all this kind of crap. He's from Oregon and West Coast and all the stuff that surrounds it. And he always gets a pass. And the reason why I've shown you these two clips, and actually one clip and a tweet, is this doesn't happen with Tua. People ask me all the time, Barry, why do you keep featuring and highlighting the media? Because you have to. People have to know how incongruous, how hypocritical, how much these people are focused on Tua. And I'm going to show you something today that's going to blow you away if you haven't seen it. Unbelievable bias against Tua Tagovailoa. So, yeah, Justin Herbert, you're done for the season. I mean, you go ahead and finish out your games, but you're not going to be playing in December and January. You're done. Zach Wilson, we're looking forward to getting you down here to Miami or going up there. I forget which way it is. I think it's down here. I'm not sure. But either way, can't wait to play you. Can't wait to finish the season and play the New York Jets. You guys are probably, like me, licking our chops for this. This is a game, if they can only muster 77 yards in a game, 2 yards of offense in the entire second half, oh, we're going to feast. I don't make predictions, but if they only get 2 yards of offense in the second half, and playing the Patriots, yeah, Miami's going to feast. So with that, let's go ahead and take some quick comments here. Dolphin says, yeah, Tua loves Jesus and they want to Tebow him. If you don't know how to follow the path, at least they will try to end you. I have a picture. I have a picture which I think explains a lot of this, but people don't want me to get involved in politics and stuff. Perfect Q says Matthew Stafford just suffered his second concussion Sunday in 2 weeks. Where's national media concerned? Nope, no, none. Doesn't matter. It's not Miami. It's not Tua. Second concussion. You'll be all right. Get your ass out there and play. Jets defense is really good, but I think we'll win by 3 TDs. I don't know how many TDs we win by. Their defense is good. It's not great. And I have to believe if Tua had played in the last Jets game, the outcome would have been a little bit different. Hey Jimbo, what's going on, bud? Tua has respect for his team and the family. Absolutely. We would have our starters out when we play them week 18. You're saying if we'd be so far ahead, clinching home field advantage and clinching the division title, that we're already going to have to sit guys? Well, if that's what it is, I'm down with that. I don't think anybody would have a problem with that if we're at that position by the time that game comes around. Most Tua haters are just sellouts. It's kind of embarrassing to watch them, to be honest. It is kind of embarrassing to watch these guys because nothing is based in fact. It's all feels. It's all how they feel about things, and they just can't at this point go back on a word. So there were some good things people talked about Tua. I mean, obviously you guys have seen this over the last couple of days. This is the team getting back to work, hitting the field, getting ready for practice. Does that team look scared? Does that team look wound up? Does that team look like they're afraid of what's ahead? Or is that team with the captain dancing right there, does that team look like they're loose and ready to start firing on all cylinders again? To me, when I see that kind of brevity, when I see these guys happy, ready to go to work, ready to get ready for the rest of the season, healthy, bringing guys back. Who knows what's going to happen with Byron Jones, but forget all that. These guys and their offensive line, everybody seems ready to go. So here was something that was fun. I'm going to play you 2 takes here. And then I'm actually going to play one and we'll take some comments. This video, cut 3 here, was by Ryan Clark on ESPN. Check this out.
I am not ruling the Buffalo Bills out, but the Miami Dolphins are the best team in this division. And, sometimes you got to just throw away all the things that you thought you knew about people when they give you new information. Thoughts have to evolve, theories have to evolve, and eventually you got to just talk about what you're seeing. The Miami Dolphins have not lost a game this season that Tua Tagovailoa has started and finished.
Okay, so I want to address that real quick. I'm ready to throw that little bit of language out the door. Tua is 7-0, period. When you watch baseball, and they say a pitcher is 13-5, 13-9. They don't say he's 13-9 in the games that he's finished. Some of these pitchers get blown out and have to get taken out. The coach hits the arm, brings in another pitcher, but it doesn't say, hey, he's 13-6 on games that he actually finished. In fact, in baseball, you don't even have to finish the game to be a winner. They bring in a relief pitcher most of the time. So why are we even talking about and putting that asterisk on anything by saying Tua is 7-0 on games he started and finished? He's 7-0, period. That game, he didn't play in the second half. He got hurt, so it's not on him. It's not on him. Don't even bother counting it in the stats. That's where I'm going to go from now on. he's 7-0. Period. Not that he didn't finish the game.
No matter who they played, they've been better than the other team. And the reason we were so high on the Philadelphia Eagles is because they were just winning. It didn't matter who was on the other side. And that's exactly what the Miami Dolphins are doing. When you watch the way that Mike McDaniels and Tua Tagovailoa communicate and work together, it's the perfect marriage. And I thought Mike McDaniels was full of crap when he was on the plane and he was talking to Tua, oh man, I believe in you, woo, woo, woo. I thought that was coach speak. No, dude is dead serious.
He is dead serious. Nobody at this point, people thought it might have been a marketing shtick where, he was talking about the relationship with he and Tua. And then, of course, everything that Tyreek said, and he said how close he and Tua have gotten. I think 10, 11 weeks in, we can now see for sure that these guys absolutely mesh. They've become a family. Mike McDaniel somehow has developed this culture, and these guys are in it to win it. Make no doubt about it.
And now Tua Tagovailoa believes in himself. Tua Tagovailoa believes in that coach, and the team believes in Tua Tagovailoa. All that stuff Tyreek said in the offseason, that's why he keeps reminding us, because every time Tua plays, he reminds us too.
Yes, he does. In the video I just showed you with the guys clowning around at practice, every time you see these guys, even when they lost, they are family. They are connected. The fans, us, you guys here. It's all part of a meshed community that these guys are building. I think today I saw that Jalen Phillips and the Dolphins are giving away like 8,000 turkeys. Well, so, a lot of people do that. A lot of players have foundations and do things, but they collectively do it. And this is something that I'm really, really happy and proud of the Dolphins for doing.
The defense that's added Bradley Chubb, a defense that's getting healthier on the back end. The Miami Dolphins are the best team in the AFC East. And they get an opportunity to continue to prove it as the season goes along. They are getting better right now, and we are questioning the Buffalo Bills. Are the Buffalo Bills out of the question to win it? Absolutely not. When you got a quarterback this dang good and coaches that dang special, they will always have a chance to be in the race. But for me right now, in my money, I'm placing it on the Miami Dolphins.
Absolutely. There's something he said there that really, really important. The Dolphins are continuing to get better. Mike McDaniel as a coach is continuing to get better. You're seeing these progressions. I had a problem with his time management and blowing, timeouts because he didn't get the play in and things of that nature. And we're seeing the team get better every single week. Now, I hope they don't have any rust coming off a bye week, but I'm pretty sure Mike McDaniel and what we saw, how the guys were having, fun at practice, I think they're going to be ready. Today is Tuesday, Tua Tuesday, and we got a couple days left for them to get prepared to take on the Texans. So I forgot to hit the button, so you didn't even see me talking. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take a few comments. Hey, Pablo, what's going on, my friend? Pablo says, the fact is that these talking heads have lost all credibility. They started by hating. Now they are anointing Tua as MVP. Yep, credibility out the window. And I'm going to show you something in a little while. It's going to blow your mind. Absolutely blow your mind with what some of these people say. It's like they don't remember the show they did a week ago. Or they hope you don't remember the show they did a week ago. Because those receipts are still sitting there. Those receipts are just waiting to be shown. And it's like they don't even realize they're there. It's crazy. You're right here. Watch out for another cheap shot by Matt Milano. God, it's funny. When I watched them play Cleveland, I watched Jadeveon Clowney, and I watched, Myles Garrett. And they were coming after Tua, but they were jovial, and they were talking. They wouldn't have tried to hurt him. Matt Milano is going to try and take him out. The Bills, I just feel they're a dirty team. Ryan Clark, what's he say? Ryan Clark played football. Ryan Clark knows football. Stephen A. Smith does talking. He has a motor mouth, absolutely. And I've watched some of the guys who have played besides Keyshawn Johnson and besides Miss Sims. A lot of the guys who played football don't want to risk their credibility by saying some of the stupid shit that Miss Sims says out there. You're right, Winsy. I forgot it again. Thanks. I'm not sure. I might have been talking to somebody else. Francisco Torres says our offensive line is clicking. Defense is getting better off the front four. Oh my God! I just can't wait to see the rest of the games. Tua, what is clicking? The game is playing video PlayStation. It does seem like a video PlayStation when you watch the Dolphins play. Where was that? There was a Ray Pursley. Welcome for coming. New to your channel. Love you, man. Fins fan for 53 years. Yes, thank you. Keep coming as well. Perfect Q says again, and I'm not cherry picking these. They're just coming in so fast. I'm just trying to click on them. I used to despise Joe Montana. I did too, because he used to just do some crazy stuff, and all he did was not care and kept winning. I can understand a little bit of the hate for Tua. Yeah, but there's some other stuff. There's some other stuff as well. Wow, Richard, thank you. I'm seeing a lot of people from a lot of different areas. I'm seeing people from Guam, Samoa, New Zealand, and now Peru. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Donald Lazone says they embarrass themselves. It's pathetic. How can you talk negatively about this team while they're winning? Don't know. Absolutely don't know. They just find a way to talk bad about them. And the only reason I bring it up is because there are some players out there who absolutely get it. So speaking of a player who absolutely gets it, you guys know who Charles Woodson, Hall of Fame defensive back, played with the Raiders. Back in college, he played for Michigan. Unbelievable talent that he is. Listen to how he schools Michael Vick in this video when he talks about where the Miami Dolphins are.
In sole possession in the first place. Okay, but Miami, you've been high on Miami all year long. You think they stay atop that division?
Can I interest you in this, Carissa?
Please.
First in passer rating.
Okay.
Second in completion percentage.
Okay.
Third in passing yards per game. 18 touchdown passes to 3 interceptions. Can I interest you in that?
Look, the menu looks good.
You're right. So you talk about the Jets, if they win there and so forth.
Do they maintain?
But guess what, though?
Guess
what, though? We're going to continue to win. Down there with the Dolphins. I told you, I'm in the ocean. I'm riding the Dolphins. And,
Now, real quick, he said we. This guy played for the Raiders and played for Michigan, and he's a Dolphins fan. I didn't know that. If any of you guys in the comments know about Charles Woodson being a Dolphin fan or living here in South Florida, that blew me away. He's all in.
This guy's at SeaWorld.
Right? And guess who we have last game of the season at home? The Jets. Okay. Miami Dolphins continue to roll. No, they're competitive, but they're not going to beat the Dolphins. You know what? Tua didn't play the first matchup. Okay? He did. You got that right. Tua's.
Hold on. I want to stop and pause that so you can see that face. That face he had when he found out. Maybe he didn't know. But I love
you got that right. Tua's.
He just found out that Tua didn't play last time.
Last game of the season.
Tua's an MVP.
He's shaking his head.
Thank you, man.
Okay, so you're still riding high with the Dolphins.
I'm still.
Imagine being on one of these shows where you're talking about what's coming up in the NFL season, and you don't even know what the hell is going on. And somebody like Charles Woodson is the person who drops it on you and says, hey, listen, they play the Jets at home at the end of the season, and Tua didn't play, and your face just goes, because you didn't know. You didn't know. Or you forgot. Or you didn't care. Either way, it's amazing how some of these players are actually schooling some of the other players. Mike Vickey's had his problems. I'm not going to talk about that. But Charles Woodson, Ryan Clark, Dan Orlovsky, Emmanuel Acho, there are some guys out there that are really, really recognizing what's happening with the Miami Dolphins. And I think we need to talk about that and pump those guys up as much as possible. Let's see here. They don't get along, so they don't speak facts on each other to embarrass one another. Yeah, I would think some of them are trying to one-up each other as well. There's something pretty magical when people from different areas, different countries, different industries are rooting for the Dolphins. Absolutely. Because people can see it. People who are actually watching the games can see what's transpiring. People can see that Tua came back from a horrific injury. Horrific injury. They were hoping he would never come back. And the guy's run a four-game win streak since then. Wow, Brandon, thank you very much. Love Tua Tuesdays. Best part is when my man Barry making these Tua haters look stupid. And I, somebody had told me, stop elevating them, stop showing them. So today I wanted to basically let some of these other athletes call them out. Let you know that there are people, there are soldiers out there that are looking at this and going, hey man, we can't deny this anymore. We can't deny that these Dolphins are just kicking ass and taking names. Opalaka, Tua for MVP. If he keeps it up, Patrick Mahomes is playing one hell of a season, but Tua's right there. Yeah, and Kurt Warner is another huge Tua fan, and his opinion is amazing when he does his breakdowns. I'm telling you right now, between Emmanuel Acho and Kurt Warner, they made me stop doing breakdowns because their breakdowns are so good that I prefer to do a breakdown of the breakdown, because him being a MVP quarterback and everything, and some of these other NFL guys, Brian Baldinger is another one, they talk at such a high level, Dan Orlovsky, that a lot of times people don't see really what's going on because they're going so fast. They're on the air, they're on television, and they're saying, hey, look at this, boom, da boom, da boom, when you need to slow it down and see what's really going on. Jimbo, you're in Fort Lauderdale. I was in Fort Lauderdale this past weekend. We should get together. What do we else got here? Let me go, bro. Fins up Winsy. Tua just keeps coming back stronger every hurdle. That's enough for me. Besides his obvious skills, the warrior in him, I'm on board with him. Yep, absolutely. He has that Samoan culture. Can't deny it. Can't deny it. Anyone who thinks that's just a crutch doesn't understand the Samoan people. My wife lived in Hawaii for 11 years. It's a different type of person. It's really big ohana. Ohana is the word for family. And you guys from Hawaii or out there in the Pacific that want to talk about it, but ohana, ohana is just not your immediate family. They embrace you. My wife is a white woman from South Carolina, from the South, who lived in Hawaii for 11 years, and she ended up going into a, what's it called? Halau, and learning how to do hula, and she danced hula, which is a very, very respected dance, like you saw in the video. Not anybody can just be invited to dance hula. She was a hula dancer, which tells you how hot my wife is. That I got to tell you that right now. She might peek in over my shoulder one moment, but damn, okay, brother definitely married up. So let me. She would kill me for saying that. Let's see, we got 51 years of watching the Fins, and this is the first time since the early 90s we truly look like a complete team. Coach on down, this team is special. Yeah, and I don't think they're done yet. I think with the direction that Chris Greer's taken this team, we're going to see some major movements in the offseason, if not before. Nick Newman says, Tua Sherfield is a bond. I think we'll see more of this year. Yep. You're going to see a lot of this. And I don't think whatever happens at the end of this year, if they don't win a Super Bowl, you're not going to see a letdown. You're going to see a team driven to come back next year. And I don't see how they're going to get stopped. A year under their belt of running this system with Mike McDaniel, man, that's going to be tough. Good for you, Barry. Yeah, it definitely married up. Traded into it, and man, I'm happy with it. Been 30 years. I've been waiting 38 years for the Dolphins to be great. Wow. That's a long time. And brother, you're not alone. You are definitely not alone. There are a lot of people. I mean, we're talking 1972, 50 years. A lot of people have been waiting to see it. What's his name? Polo. Don't like too much praise, Barry. You don't need the media to believe in Tua. We believe in Tua. The sniper, absolutely. I don't know if you saw the video yesterday, but Bomani Jones from ESPN, who's bounced around on a couple different networks, his HBO show tanked, says that he believes that people in Miami, or Miami Dolphins fans rather, need the media to validate their belief in Tua. Talk about ass backwards. Talk about not having a clue. Why would anybody who's a Dolphins fan need someone in the media to validate their faith and belief in the Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa? I don't know. It made no sense. Todd says he's been watching the Dolphins for 37 years, and this is the most excited I've ever been. Yeah, I believe it. Hope y'all don't overlook any team out there. Nope, just be humble and Finn's ball. Good luck, because my team is at the bottom of the bucket. I don't know where you are. No, where I'm thinking that's the thing Mike McDaniel has to do this week. Game plan this week is don't come back and overlook a 1-8 team. Not going to spend a lot of time on it because I've been talking about it, but don't overlook a 1-8 team. Could be your downfall. Yesterday, I highlighted some things that Big E said on Twitter, and he said all the rest of the games are winnable. That's true. But what's also true is all the games the rest on the schedule are losable. And so as long as you know both sides, we can win the rest of the games. We absolutely can. But you actually have to understand, you could lose 1, 2, or 3 of these games just by not executing. That's really important to remember. It's reality. It's reality sinking in. You're right, Laura. Hey, Laura, nice to see you. A 1-8 team has nothing to lose. They have everything to gain by taking down the Dolphins. And don't think that's not motivation. Don't think for an instant that team isn't coming to South Florida and would love to put a feather in their cap and say, boom, we took these guys down. Absolutely. The Texans, at Perfect Q says the Texans are a hungry team that has nothing to lose. Again, Dolphins have to take them out early, score early, make a lot of points. Let's see what else we got here. The Dolphins, the fans don't give a damn what they think. I guess you're talking about Bomani Jones or some of these people. Yeah, it's pretty awful. So let me see. Everyone is coming for us. We need to be ready. So let me ask you a question. I don't know if you remember back in the day. I'm going to date myself. Yeah, I'm going to date myself pretty bad here. Back when UCLA was winning, I think they won 88 games in a row. They didn't lose for like 3 seasons. That's when they had Bill Walton, and back then it was Lou Alcindor who became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and they just beat everybody's ass. And they asked John Wooden, how is this happening? John Wooden being the coach. And John Wooden said, every game we approached as if it was the first game of the season. And I don't know how he got those guys, at that point, kids, into the mentality that, hey, listen, every single game we play, it's like the first game you played. They brought in new sneakers. They came in with fresh uniforms, and they wanted every game that they played to be just like the first game they played, when you're just getting down there and you know what you want to do and you're hungry. Because after you win 50 games in a row, you're sitting back, who we got this week, Coach? USC? No. I want you to feel like it's the first game of the season every single week. If you can get that kind of mentality into a player's head, they run through doors for you. And my coaches always said, treat every game as though it could be your last. Imagine if Tua had not gotten back here. You don't know. And what you want to, in saying that, what he meant was, don't leave it in the locker room. Don't leave it on the bus. Don't leave it on the plane. Leave it on the field. Leave everything every week. You got 7 days to recuperate. And in this week, you had 2 weeks. Francisco says, and another thing, the way we look for next year, a lot of good players want to come play for the Dolphins. Why? Absolutely. Free agency is going to be madness. Absolute madness. I mean, obviously Stephen Ross has a checkbook. Cap room's going to be there. What do we need? Think about what we need. We need some defensive backs. We need some offensive linemen. This team is this close. They could do it this year, but with a couple different slots filled, just imagine. Slim pickings, yep, and the Dolphins don't have to pay Byron Jones if he doesn't want to play. Yep, get some money. I mean, the whole thing with Jasicki, we have to figure that out too. Ironically, the 73 Finns were probably even better than the undefeated team of 72. They had a much tougher schedule. Yeah, that could have been says we need offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and LBs. I don't know about defensive line. I'm pretty happy with Sealer and what's his name? Christian Wilkins in there. They seem to be doing a good job. Now we've got Chubb and we've got Jalen Phillips. Good defensive line. Linebackers, yeah, it could use an improvement, but I think the vast improvement is on the offensive line and in the defensive backfield for sure. Sene Mele, what's going on? What's up, my boy Barry? Love you, my Uso. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. 500 plus fans in the chat. Hit the like button, please, and thank you. All right, so done some comments here. I'm going to jump into the next portion of this video. This one is going to take a while. It's about a 6-minute video, but I have to stop. And you guys might want to get a drink on this one because there's some shit in here that just might blow you away. All right, so let me set the stage here. This is from First Take, Stephen A. Smith's show. And Stephen A. Smith is talking about his top 5 teams in the NFL as of today. And when I watched this, I went, what the hell is this guy smoking? I mean, seriously, how bad do you have to hate on the Miami Dolphins and hate on Tua Tagovailoa to come up with this crap? So we're going to spend some time because he's got one of our favorite people talking about football on here as well. Actually, 2 of them. So without further ado, check this out.
Yeah, you know what time it is. It's week 11. It's over and done with. My top 5 teams in the National Football League. Keep in mind, here's the deal. The list is fluid. It's fluid. Just because you see this week doesn't mean it's going to look that way next week. Stay with me, all right? Let's get to number 5 on the list, please. Give it to me right now here. Give it to me right now. The San Francisco 49ers. I'm going.
The San Francisco 49ers, he's picked at number 5. As soon as I saw that come up, I'm like, he's not going to pick the Dolphins anywhere on this list, is he? Is he really going to leave the Dolphins off this list? Nah, he couldn't leave the Dolphins off this list. Yeah, the 49ers played yesterday and they played a good game. Yeah, but are you kidding me? Watch.
With San Francisco as number 5 on the list. Let's go to number 4 on the list, please. Give it to me right now. Bam! The Buffalo Bills. The bottom line is they steered the ship in the right direction.
They've steered the ship in the right direction. They almost friggin' lost to Cleveland. They almost lost to the Cleveland Browns in a neutral site in Detroit, and he's made them number 4. So you know what's coming because you know they love the Chiefs. You know the Chiefs are in there. So there's only two other slots that the Dolphins possibly could sneak into.
They're a top 4 team in the National Football League. They ain't top 3 though. Give it to me right here. Bam! The Philadelphia Eagles with number 2. Give it to me.
Okay, so you might have saw that. But number 3, he put the Eagles. The Eagles should be in the top 5. They're 9-1. I would take that. And then he puts the Cowboys in there at number 2.
1, no. Here's where we gonna go.
And then he put, obviously...
It is this dude, the Kansas City Chiefs, because of Patrick Mahomes. Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to look at that list. 5, the 49ers. Bills at number 4. Eagles at number 3. Cowboys at number 2. Chiefs at number 1. I don't know where they hid the crack pipe. He must have been holding it, I don't know, behind his back or in his suit pocket. But to put the Bills and the 49ers above the Dolphins, you know, the Bills, the team the Dolphins already beat, the 49ers? Why? Because of last night's game? So you got 2 teams right there that easily, I feel, should be below the Miami Dolphins.
Go. Floor is y'all.
Yeah, you got the first 3 right. The first 3 is right. Number 4 is not right, man. Okay? I would move the 49ers up to 4. I put Miami at 5.
Move the 49ers to 4. Put Miami at 5. What are they thinking? What are they thinking? Move the 49ers to 4 and put the Dolphins at 5. You're putting the 49ers, by the virtue of a great game last night, a big game in Mexico, they've moved them up to, unbelievable.
All this Miami hype that was going on First Take over the last couple weeks, now all of a sudden Miami ain't nowhere to be found. But I guess you're going to tell me it's fluid. Didn't Miami beat Buffalo, Mina? Didn't Miami beat Buffalo?
Why are you asking Mina? Yes, the Miami Dolphins beat the Buffalo Bills. Absolutely, they beat the Buffalo Bills.
Didn't Minnesota take care of Buffalo in Buffalo?
Yes, Minnesota beat Buffalo in Buffalo. Yes. How are they on this list?
And Buffalo just struggled to get past Cleveland, but I guess that's because they had to go to Detroit. Come on, man, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Well,
How bad is it? You tell me, how bad is it when Keyshawn Johnson has to be defending the Miami Dolphins? Now, understand, I'm not sure what their scripts are, but Keyshawn Johnson had to defend the Miami Dolphins? What kind of clown world are we in right now? First of all, head clown Stephen A's five spots, and then also then adding Keyshawn Johnson to defend the Miami Dolphins. It's clown world in the media. It's a Vinny from Hawaii. Yeah, he's got the Cowboys up there. He absolutely did. He put them up there. Laura, you're right. We have a good shot to beat all of them. Chiefs are going to be a tough game, obviously. The Bills are going to be a tough game. Right now, every top team is a major injury away from being knocked out of the playoffs. Very, very, very true. Jimbo, he put the crack pipe in his watch pocket where we're going to put everybody's blank. I love when you say that. It's funny. I don't know where you get the little gift to. That lady should not be an NFL analyst. Oh, it gets better. Wait till Mina opens her mouth. That's one of the reasons why I cut this piece in, because wait till you hear what she has to say. You're going to go, oh my God, you will be floored when you hear what she has to say. It's that bad. Hey, Miami. I like Michael Irvin's take on the Fins. Absolutely. I played that video last week. Miami Mac is back. What's going on? Stephen A is a clown. He hates Miami because he got rid of the other Brian Flores. Yeah. Did I say other? Yeah. The other clown, Brian Flores. Absolutely. Thomas, Mina is absolutely awful, but you're not even going to believe what she says. And I'm not going to say, you'll hear it come out of her mouth. They put her on TV. It's like she doesn't even remember what she says, but you'll see. It's that bad. So they've gotten Keyshawn's opinion. Now they're going to move to Miss Mina Kimes.
The weather in Detroit and the neutral site, that has something to do with it. But you might have me there. I will admit, you might have me there for Miami. I might have slipped on that one. I give it to you. But I'm proud of 1, 2, 3, and 5. Mina, the floor is yours.
I really like your list, and I think with the Bills, Keyshawn's leaving out something important, which is you're recognizing the underlying qualities of this team. In their losses, they were missing almost their entire secondary.
Told you. In the Buffalo's Bills losses, Keyshawn, you don't understand. The Bills didn't have their entire secondary. That's why they lost. Mina, who did the Dolphins miss? Who did the Dolphins not have in their 3 losses? The stunning incompetence is amazing. She just said, and you just heard her, she just said, hey, you can't say anything bad about the Bills because they were missing their secondary when they lost. Why did you forget that Tua Tagovailoa was on a stretcher? Did you forget that he was gone for 3 games? I don't even know how that came out of her mouth. I feel like Herm Edwards and Keyshawn, you can see his face when you see it, are like, bitch, please. What are you saying? It's bad enough you're on this panel, but you can't keep embarrassing us with some of the stuff that you say. I had to put this out there because if you guys hadn't seen this, you wouldn't have believed it. I'm gonna play that again. I'm gonna rewind it just a bit.
They were missing qualities of this team. In their losses, they were missing almost their entire secondary.
They were missing almost their entire secondary. He just put up his top 5 teams that he thinks are in the NFL, and she has a problem that the Bills are so low because they were missing their secondary in their losses. And let me put this back on. Let me just freeze so you can see the faces. Look at the faces. Look at Herm Edwards. Look at Keyshawn. Right there, they realized she stepped in it. They realized that she stepped full into a hot, steamy pile of dog poo by telling people that the Bills lost games because their secondary wasn't there. And she completely, and I'm going to let it finish, she doesn't even mention Tua Tagovailoa being out for the Dolphins' 3 losses. How do you get on a nationally televised sports program and completely not know, remember? It's dumbfounding. Am I making too much of this? You guys let me know. But let's finish with her.
They're getting healthy. Hopefully they get Tre'Davious White back at some.
They're getting healthy. What about the Dolphins? Their starting quarterback is playing lights out. He's healthy.
Point. Jordan Poyer came back. We do need Josh Allen to continue what we saw, which is cutting down on those red zone interceptions, but they are still one of the best teams in the NFL.
I don't know if she has a script. Is she reading? Josh Allen needs to cut down on his interceptions because he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. The defensive secondary was hurt, so we're going to talk about the defensive secondary as a reason that they've lost, the games that they've lost. And there's nothing on my page here about Miami. There's nothing here about a quarterback that had a concussion and missed 3 games. So because it's not on the piece of paper or the teleprompter that I'm looking at, I'm not even going to mention it.
I think Miami is the sleeping giant in this league because of their offense. The defense looked better last week, but I want to see more continued good performance against them. And
Miami is a sleeper, but she needs to see more. Did she say that about Jimmy G and the 49ers who just, they won a big game yesterday? You don't need to see more from them. They're definitely a solid team as far as she's concerned. The Dolphins are still iffy. I told you it was nuts. I told you this was a nuts take. First take? No. Change the name of the show to Nuts Take. And D's nuts, never mind. I was going to make a D's nuts joke, but wow. And when you again, I'm going to cut to this and pause. Look at the guys' faces. If I'm making this up, you guys tell me. Look at their faces. That's not what you look like when you're on television. That's not what you're supposed to appear as when you're on camera. Those guys couldn't contain the complete, utter disbelief of what this woman just said. So let's take a few comments because you guys must have loved that. Slim Pickens says Tua would be 10-0 if he didn't get hurt. Good possibility. Can't say for sure, but good possibility. D's nuts. Yeah, exactly. D's nuts. She's the D's nuts takes. This is crazy. Can you believe these clowns? Florio and Sims think the only AFC team that compete with the 49ers are the Chiefs. Yep. They completely overlook. Talk about us not wanting to overlook the Texans. Everybody's still, again, overlooking Miami. Let's see. Tua Teef. Where was that? Did it go past really quick? Oh, there it is. I quit watching the clowns on ESPN because of all the ignorance. I can't believe she's even there. I don't know many people who do believe. I know she's got a huge Twitter following, and they all come to basically support her because on Twitter is where you get the diversity hires, and everybody has to know because she's a woman. And I don't care. If you're a woman and you're talking about football, you should know football. I don't know tennis, so I can never comment on tennis. I don't know field hockey, so I can never comment on field hockey. I never played field hockey. I'm not a good swimmer. My wife would say I can't swim at all, so I can't comment on swimming and diving. Doesn't matter if you're a woman or male. You just at least have to know what the hell you're talking about. Coconati says they're product of fake news. Absolutely. Where is this one here? I'm kind of glad, this is from Brett Dodger. I'm kind of glad many overlook the Finns. We can sneak up on them. No, that ain't going to happen. Teams aren't overlooking them. The media is overlooking them. The media doesn't want Miami to be relevant. Not sure why, but they figure if they talk down about it, that'll keep people from wanting to know. Just eye candy, nothing more. No other reason she could be on there. I don't know, like my candy a little bit different flavored, but hey, whatever. So, some people forget, what's this? Please get Mina off the show before one of the guys choke her. You see the look on her faces. That's exactly what I was saying. I mean, you're absolutely right. Let me just cut to it again.
Really
I wish I could zoom. I can't zoom. But those two guys, Keyshawn Johnson and Herm Edwards, they're looking at her like, bitch, please. Just shut up. Stephen A., why are you picking at her to talk? So let's continue, because there's even more here.
Of games, I want to see how they play because they have the potential to skyrocket up this list.
Coach.
Pretty good list. I know it's fluid. The order, I don't like the order so much though.
What?
I think this is the order for me. It's the Chiefs. It's the Fly Eagles Fly. It's the Bills, the Cowboys, and then the 49ers. And Miami, to me, I want to see the Miami Dolphins play in the cold.
Okay, so Herm Edwards has gone to that fallback where he wants to see how the Miami Dolphins play in the cold. Like that's, I just don't get it. I mean, yes, all the teams on that list, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Bills, 49ers to a certain extent play in cold weather. Not sure if that influenced Stephen A. when he put together his top 5 list. So what they're saying is because people couldn't play in the heat, you don't expect people to play in a cold. And you think that a team's skill level is suspect because they haven't played in sub 50 degree weather yet. Unbelievable. And this guy's smart.
I want to see him play in the cold. I want to see him play in the cold at the end of the day. All right? That's the litmus test for me. Can they play in the cold? Does that thing travel in bad weather? I think they're an upcoming team. I think they're good. And remember this one, Stephen A. There's another team just kind of sitting out there. They're getting well. Nobody's saying a lot about them. Watch out for the Cincinnati Bengals.
So his whole thing, his criteria, his asterisk that he's placing on the Miami Dolphins is that they can't play in the cold. He hasn't seen them play in the cold. Well, no, we haven't seen them play in true cold weather. But I would think, I have played in cold weather. I played in hot weather. I'm telling you, playing in the heat is much more taxing on an individual than playing in the cold. Absolutely. Does it affect teams? As I said yesterday, it's not the cold, it's the wind. So if the wind hampers the passing game, that can be definitely a factor. But it just being cold? No. I mean, again, every one of these fields are heated. There's not going to be ice slicks on the field. There's not going to be snow. When's the last time you've seen a snow game? That's why they moved Buffalo, because they didn't want a snow game. The NFL is not going to have that happen. So unless they're in a game and it starts snowing, which is a good possibility in Buffalo, anytime the lake effect snow can come across, of course it can. But both teams are playing in it. Both teams are going to have to adjust. The same wind that's hitting the field is going to affect both quarterbacks. You don't teach quarterbacks to play the wind. You can play the cold. You're not taught to play the wind because the wind is what? Say it. Somebody say it. What about the wind? The wind is unpredictable. You can't predict wind. It's not like you have a driver or you're getting ready to hit a ball off the tee and you're trying to see where the wind's going, or you're trying to do a placement from a kick and you're trying to see which way the wind's blowing so you can adjust, take your time, kick it over here so that the wind blows it back in. That's not going to happen. Both quarterbacks would be subject to playing in the wind. As for the cold, hey man, throw on a sweatshirt if you have to, put on nylons like Joe Namath did, and get out there and play football. By the way, Joe Namath was from Alabama, and I think he won a Super Bowl. Charlie says the same thing. We're all in the same world, cold on, warm-blooded, mammals pretty even. Yep, absolutely. Argument is best for ratings. That's exactly what they try to do. They don't like us because... what do you say? They don't like us because we've been bad for a long time, to be honest. I think there's something more. I mean, I wonder if did I save this picture? And I might be a problem for me to show it to you, but I'm going to see if I still have this picture here. on my phone. I found this picture. Yep, I have it. So I'm going to show you something. Getting ready to close this show. Thank you guys for being here. If I didn't get to your comments, I told you. Thank you very, very much. But I want to show you a picture and see if light bulbs go off in your head. Many of you may have seen this. Many of you have not. People have talked about Tua's religion. People have talked about, is that why they have a problem? So I'm wondering if you can see this. I'm going to hold it up and see if light bulbs go off your head. And if you have a problem with it, maybe it's not Tua, maybe it's you, maybe it's the media, maybe it's Brian Flores. But you guys know what I'm about to show you? All right, here we go. Let me see if I can show it to you. What do you guys see there? You guys see that? Is it showing up? Who is that? Who is that? You think the media knows about that? You think the media understands in this crazy world we've been living in? Could that be a possibility? You damn well right it could be. How many of you guys have seen that picture before? How many of you guys have seen that? Because this media is very, very, very fickle, and they don't like a lot of things. I'm just saying, don't care what your political affiliation is. I'm not going to tell you what mine is, but he told people what his was. And you got to wonder if that was a source of anger between Brian Flores or an additional source of anger. Is that additional source of anger for the media? They've seen it. They know. Nobody's talking about it. How many other shows have you been on YouTube? Have people shown you this picture? I'll show it to you again in case you didn't get a chance. Ready? 3, 2, 1. And there we go. You know who that picture is. One of them is Tua Tagovailoa, and I think you know who the other guy is. And so, I don't know. I've been trying to figure it out, and I found that picture because I've been trying to find out. I've been trying to dig into this insanity with the media. And I'm like, is it the religion? Is it something else? Am I missing something? Nobody seems to want to talk about what is it? Why would you push for the Miami Dolphins to bring Chester the molester down here in South Beach? Why would you want, Mr. Pull and Tug, Happy Plug and Tug down here, who's the type of guy who it just doesn't make any sense. And so I've said, if it doesn't make sense, it makes sense. So let's take a few comments. Tua has a Cheeto and a cheetah. Oh my God, this is funny. Yeah, you can not like Trump but still recognize greatness happening. It's insane. But some of these people are nuts. They can't separate. If I had a guy, just to let you know, I talk to about YouTube all the time, and he and I have been conversing for well over a year. We've been exchanging strategies. The guy is a killer YouTube expert, guru. Showed me a lot. I get a lot of people going, Barry, how did you come from nowhere and you're gaining on some of the bigger YouTubers in this space? How did it happen? Well, I had a guy that showed me how to do this, and he told me what to do and when to do it and everything. And he for free. He just liked the fact that I was doing what he told me to do. True story. 2 days ago, he posted, he goes, I'm off of Twitter. I'm out of here. Find me on LinkedIn. I'm not posting anymore on Twitter. I'm like, dude, why would you leave? And he goes, if I have to tell you that I have no hope for you. This is someone I've been talking to for basically daily for a year as I built my channel. And that's the mere possibility that somebody's going to be on Twitter again. Gone. Got to get out of here. So I don't know. Maybe that is what's killing people. Richard Hampton, it doesn't really matter to me what people believe. I'm a believer. I've made no bones about it. But man, it is absolutely crazy. Ooh, now we know this ain't the Tua Tagovailoa, but if it was, dude, look me up. I got to get you on the show. Gene Kent, mainstream sports media is just as bad as mainstream media about politics. Yeah, it could be. It definitely could be. Laura, I thank you. And again, there are some people who see those kind of pictures and I don't know, they get discombobulated and wires start freaking out, short-circuiting. Woosah, breathe. This is football. This is football. We can't be like the mainstream media. We have to understand if this player is like this, if this player likes this political affiliation, if this player is gay, if this player is a tranny, doesn't matter. Let's win. This family is big enough to deal with all the indiscretions that people have. Focus on the game. Focus on the field. I don't care if you're dating a woman or you're cross-dressing, as long as you're blocking if you're on the offensive line. God knows that's a scary thought about somebody my size in a dress. But I don't care. Why we're here, why you guys are here is because we want to win. Win, baby. Just win. Get out there and play. I'm not going to pass judgment on anybody. This is football. And I don't think the media understands that enough, that this is football. Stop putting your personal beliefs onto players, because God knows I can't stand what Deshaun Watson did. But, my best friend, one of my best friends is a Cleveland Browns fanatic, and he can't wait for Deshaun Watson to play next year. He's married and he has 2 daughters. And I started to ask him a question. He said, stop. This is football. And I realized you're right. Don't ask the question, hey, how do you feel about Deshaun Watson? You're married and you've got 2 daughters. Dudes, play football. Now, I understand we all hold ourselves up to a certain standard, but I can't possibly pass my standards on you. And I don't think the media should be passing their standards on Tua Tagovailoa. Not at all. Let's see here. Has anybody caught on to this Barry guy? Well, it's been an hour, and I thank you guys for staying in, even through the diatribe here we've talked. Some of these people, absolute nuts. I keep showing it to you so you guys understand what we're up against as a team, as a fan base. They don't want us to win. They just can't stand us winning. And most importantly, they can't stand this guy. They can't stand what he's doing. They can't stand he's back in the league. He's recovered from a massive injury, and he's balling out. He's absolutely balling out. And I love the dance right there. You go, boy. You go. That's what we want to see. Thanks for tuning in. Sunday, I'm going to go live. I'm probably going to have a video tomorrow before Thanksgiving. Going to take Thanksgiving off. Thank you all. Thank you all. And I will get to as many comments off screen as I can as possible. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. I know you have a lot of choices out there.